Hello and welcome. My name is Michael Slonker, and in this brief video, I'll be going over the design and format of this Christian leadership course on Classcraft. First off, if you have any questions or concerns about Classcraft, you can reach me via email at mtslonbecker004@gmail.com. Let's get started by looking at the home page. When you pull up the course as a teacher, this is the first page that you see. On the right, you can watch a series of videos to aid you in understanding the site, but I'll go over now briefly the navigation of the site. Classcraft works by having students complete quests, or in other words, assignments. For completing these assignments and optional behaviors that you set, they receive XP points that they can use to customize their characters and make them unlock different powers and bonuses. Classcraft's goal is to turn the classroom instruction into a fun, interactive game. Okay. First off on this page, you can right-click on your class, and this will give you access to several things, but the only ones you need to know are class settings, introducer, and distribute codes. Class settings is where you can go to add and remove students, create teams, invite parents, and change the game settings. So here's the students, teams, here's where you can invite parents, and here are all of the game settings. If I were you, I would leave the advanced settings just as they are. Now here in the game settings, you can add or change behaviors, powers, pledges, random events, and kudos. And we'll talk more about those later. Going back to the home page, the introducers gives you a series of videos and interactions you can use when first introducing Classcraft to your students. It goes over the rules and how the whole system works. Now, let me go back here real quick to the home page. Lastly, on this home page here, whenever class settings and introducer, you also have your distribute codes. This will provide you with unique codes for each student and parent to join Classcraft. So here we have our first student, Matthew Baker, our second one, Andrea Likens, and our third one, Valerie White. And each of these will be sent individually to the student and to the parent. Let's continue into the course. So we'll just click on it. When you first open the course, you'll be able to see all your students, your teams, and your class. This is called the game dashboard right here. Here you can view each student's points, progress, and activity. You can also give bonus points, or you can take away points, depending on their behavior. Now, if we're on this home page, you can also click this button right here where it says Game Feed, and this will tell you everything that all your students are doing. If you look at the bar on the left here, we have Home, which is the first page that I showed you. We have Game Dashboard, which is this one I just explained. If we keep going, we have Class Tools that you can use in the classroom to spice up your in-person lessons. And here's again where we see those kudos. We also have Random Picker, we have Random Events, Volume Meter, and Formative Review. Now these would only be used if you were doing any sort of in-person instruction. We have Quests, where students can participate and in the online assignments and material. And lastly, we have Messaging, where you and the students can interact with each other. The last thing you need to know as a teacher is how to use this quest page. The quest page is where you will post about your actual lessons, discussions, and tests. At the top right, you'll start by clicking the plus button to add a quest. Now, I've provided an example for you here. When you open a quest, you'll see a new map. Click on the plus icon at the top right, again to create an assignment. Each assignment has a story where you can be as creative as you want to be to communicate the material to the students. You can also add YouTube videos, as I show here. So when you open up your assignment, it'll ask you to write a story. You can then add videos from YouTube like here, and I've also added a syllabus as well. And students will see all of this when they load up the assignment. Going back in here, if we keep going, you can see that you can also add assignments for students to submit documents, answering a prompt, or questions And you can add a discussion board for students to interact. So I'll show you what that looks like. Here's our story for this one. This is our task. This is the pre-test for this course. So students will see this and it will give them a text box where they can write in their answer or they can submit a document like work. Also in the settings here, this is where you pick how many points you want to assign the student for completing it. Let's go back here. So again, here's our story. Here's our task. Now this one is a discussion board. So when students load this up, they'll be able to type in their comments, their answer to this question here, and they'll be able to see each other's and interact in that way. You assign points, these XP points, for each assignment for students to then use to customize their characters, as I said earlier. Go through and look here at the other ones. Story, task, it's a discussion board. And this one is a story and our post test. Now this one's not a discussion board. As you can see, there's no discussion board tab. And finally, the end of the course, you made it. Now that you've seen how to navigate the course, interact with students and create assignments, let's look at what the students see when they load the course. I'll just switch accounts here real quick. All right, so I'm logged in here as Matthew Baker. This is the page that pops up when he gets on. So you can see it has a little introduction here as well. And he's gonna see all of his stats. He's gonna see his XP, and that he'll see that go up or down right here whenever you add or take away points, or whenever he completes assignments. Students also have access to this game dashboard, to their equipment where they can change their characters. They can get pets. They can discuss with other students here in messaging. And of course, they can participate in their quests. There's also those kudos again. That's only again if you decide to use those. But looking at the quests here, well, if it wants to load. Okay, we're back here. Sorry, it took a minute to load here. So this is what students will see when they go and get on their quests. They'll click here and they'll see I already did the introduction here, but you'll see they have the story and there's the video, the syllabus, and they'll just hit continue and go to the next one. There's the story, here's the task, and here's where they can write in their responses, or they can drop files in. They can also access Google Drive, Google Sheets, Docs, Slides, Forms, and they can hit submit. So I'm not sure if it'll let me continue here. Let's see. Okay, so it will. So here's the next story. Let's see, we just did that one actually. Here's our next one. And it goes in a sequence, and you sequence those together at the top right back in the teacher view. When you click that plus, it adds assignments. Right next to it, there's a little blue icon you can use to create a path for students to follow. Or you don't have to, you can have them separate. So here's again, story, task, assignment, and here's that discussion board. So this is what it looks like to students. They'll just type in what they want to say. And then they'll be able to see each other's just like this, and they can reply and do all that stuff. Now, I'll talk a little bit about the organization of the course. Classcraft is fairly restrictive as far as what files you can use and how to organize content. But essentially, I wanted students to learn what separates leadership and Christian leadership, specifically by using the life of Christ as an example. I chose to incorporate a video, a pre-test, 2 discussions, a written assignment, and a post-test. I did all this to provide multiple types of media, to promote engagement, to reach students with different learning abilities via sight, sound, memorization, etc. Overall, the Classcraft system, I feel, is pretty restrictive in what you can do, and it would be hard to get middle school and high school age students to engage with it, but it would be best used in an elementary environment since it's fun, interactive, creative, and most importantly, safe. Thanks for listening, and if you have any questions again, you can contact me at mtslonecker004@gmail.com.